Hello guys, it's Pablo here and welcome in this new video. So what I want to do today is take a look at the price of Brent crude oil, do a little analysis and trying to understand what happened in the past few days, why the price skyrocketed and also why it went down. Let me start to record my screen so I can show you better. Okay, there we are. So as you can see from the graph of Brent crude oil, the price skyrocketed in the past week, going from 72 to a peak of 112, more or less. And in the past few days, the market corrected. Right now we are at a level of $90 per barrel. So what happened? As you can see, normally when there is no crisis, no war, nothing, the markets open and closes almost at the same price. So you can see here 71, 70, 71. And we have the first gap right here at the 1st of March, because during this weekend started the attack of the US and Israel to Iran. And this caused the price of oil to skyrocket. So the price went up from 72 to a peak of 77. Because as you may know, Iran exports a lot of oil to the rest of the world, and this caused obviously a huge fluctuation in the market. Then what happened? The conflict continued and the price went on and on, so going from 75 to 90 at the end of the week. Opening, you can see here there is a huge gap in the market from 90 to 100, a $10 difference. And what happened here? Why the price from 112 went down to 90 at the moment? Because Donald Trump declared that the war was pretty well complete, and that if needed, America would escort vessels through the blocked Strait of Hormuz. We are going to talk about that later. So this created a sort of confidence in the market and the price returned a little bit down. But right now I want to talk about why is the Iran area so important for the global oil exportation, and what actually happened that caused the price to skyrocket this much. So I've opened here Google Maps, and we are obviously in Iran, so right here. More precisely, we are in this little spot right here called the Strait of Hormuz. I hope I pronounced it well. But why is this area so important? Because all these states, so Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, United States, and Qatar, they are huge exporter of oil, and around 20% of global oil exportation comes from these states right here, and their whole economy, or most of it, relies on the oil exportation. Their ships full of oil, they all have to pass through this little strait here. And what did Iran do? He closed the Strait of Hormuz, not letting any ships pass through, and this caused obviously a huge lack of oil in the whole world, because the ships usually pass through this strait and then go to Asia, or from here to the Suez Canal, reaching then Europe. The ships that goes to America goes down there from the Cape of Good Hopes, because they are usually larger ships and they don't usually do this tour right here. They usually go down and then up. So yes, that's basically what happened. Iran has had a problem with oil extraction, obviously, because the US Army attacked the extraction sites too. So this caused obviously a problem, but the problem is not only in Iran, it's also in the rest of the states that produces oil, because their exportation is completely blocked. Another thing that is really interesting, I think, to analyze is the price of LNG, or liquefied gas, that mainly comes from Qatar. And there has been two main problems. So the first one is obviously the Strait of Hormuz, but also that Iran launched missiles where the liquefied gas is produced or liquefied. And this also caused an energy problem due to the lack of, as we said, liquefied gas. Returning back to the graphic of Brent crude oil, it's really hard to make predictions, to say whether the price is going to re-establish or not in the next days or in the next weeks, because it's all related to the duration of the conflict. So what I think my prediction are that if the conflict is going to continue for weeks or for months, the price is not going to go down soon. Actually could reach also higher level if something goes wrong, if the conflicts escalate, and if instead we see a short war, so that is going to end in the next 2 weeks, the price will not resent so much, and I think that in not so long time will go down, returning to its normal price. I wanted to reflect a little bit with you of what is going to happen if the price keeps going up, and especially if the price doesn't go down for a long time. Basically, what's going to happen is that the cost of everything else, of every good, is going to go up too, because oil is very linked to the cost of production, because it's used for the production, and more important is used for the transport, and this leads to inflation in the long run. And how strong this inflation is depends on how long the price stays up. What happens if the price of everything stays up and the inflation rate grows? Well, the central banks are basically forced to higher the interest rates, and this is going to slow the global economy. And yeah, we can't predict what the effects of this will be, but it's very interesting to understand at least a little bit what happened, what is happening, and what could potentially happen in the next weeks. Well, that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned that there are going to be more videos, I think. And nothing. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.